Comolli, tra poco saranno 2 mesi di questa nuova gestione. Qual è stata la difficoltà maggiore che ha trovato qui alla Juventus e che magari non si aspettava?
I don't think there is nothing difficult or nothing that I didn't expect. The potential of the club is just incredible. I mean, the more time I spend here in the club and traveling around and, of all the clubs, with all due respect for the other clubs, the other club of this magnitude, of this size I worked on is Liverpool, with a global footprint where everyone in the world is talking about Juventus. So this is not a difficulty, this is something extraordinary. And I think more than difficulty, the day-to-day challenge, not only for myself, but for everyone who works at the club in the management is to convince people that we can go back to winning ways. So this is our entire focus on a daily basis. I'm not saying we are going to win tomorrow, but convince people that we can start winning again. I think that's the challenge, but it's a fascinating challenge.
Le linee guida di questa gestione anche sul mercato sembrano linee guida molto, molto dure, anche come stiamo vedendo nella gestione di casi particolari, diciamo così. È questa la nuova linea della Juventus e se può spiegarci la situazione attuale di Vlahovic e quello che succederà in questo mercato Vlahovic, Douglas Luiz e UEA.
So I think, look, it's the way I see things. I think Juventus deserves respect. I think the institution, no one sits above the institution, what that Juventus is. Everyone needs to respect the institution, and no one is bigger than the club, starting obviously from me. And it's what I told the players when Douglas didn't come back. I told them no one can disrespect the club. It's an institution which is old, which is to be respected and looked after. It's an institution who is very eager to win and to be successful and who deserves full respect. I don't know if it's a hard line or a hard stand, but that's certainly the way I see it, and it's the way the owner sees it as well, ownership as well. So we are totally aligned with this. I think Douglas made a mistake, and he recognized it, and he went out of his way to apologize to his teammates and to the coach. So that's one case. With the case of Timothy, I think, as I said, we deserve respect. We give respect to everyone. We deserve respect. The players are being looked after. No one is being pushed aside. So because we give respect, we deserve respect. And then with Timothy, I think there could be an issue. And I told him, I said, when you come out strongly and say, I want to join one club and only one club, you need to make sure that club backs you up. Because if that club doesn't back you up, then what do? You are in a corner and you have nowhere else to go. So I said, okay, you said very loud that you want to only go to Marseille, but what happens if Marseille is not there for you? And at the moment they are not there. Our evaluation of the player and Marseille's valuation is far apart. It happens in every transfer window. It must be my 60th transfer window that I'm going through, and I've seen it in every transfer window, and those things happen. But it's got to be within respect, and the player needs to make sure Marseille back him up. At the moment, it's not the case. So I said to Timothy, you have to be careful about yourself and your own career.
And Vlahovic?
So Vlahovic, the situation is quite simple, actually. We had a very, very good conversation, him and I, in the US. One evening, very open, very let's be honest with each other. We both came to the conclusion that if there is a good opportunity for him, football opportunity for him, and that it's a good opportunity, financial opportunity for us, then he will be allowed to leave the club. And I think that's what he's looking for at the moment, and we are expecting. We had no offer from anyone yet. There is a lot of people calling, but no official approach or no official offer. And then if that's the case, then he can leave. If it's not the case, then he will stay. But it's very clear between him and I.
Le faccio altri due nomi, quello di Colomwani e quello di Sancho, visto che noi ne parliamo tanto. Ci sono delle possibilità di vederli alla Juventus in questa stagione?
Look, we must be linked with 200 players per week, not in the transfer window per week, which is, on one hand, I'm thinking, it's back to your first question, the club is incredibly attractive. You know, it's very often agents call me, or players call me, or people call me and say, okay, but it's different because it's Juventus, and that's why we want to come, which is great to hear. You know, it's music to my ears. And the fact that we play in Champions League is a massive difference maker as well. So we linked with a lot of names. At the winger position, securing the services of Francisco for us was a key decision and a key signing. And then with Kenan on one side, with Francisco on the other side, with Nico as well, can play there, and Coops can play there as well. We think we are fine. So if someone leaves, then we will reconsider the situation at the position of wingers. And then with Colo, we know he would like to come back. I was about to say to stay, but to come back. But it all depends. You know, if Dusan stays, then we will stay as it is. And then if Dusan goes, we have options. Colo will be a great one. But we haven't had any discussion with PSG since the World Cup. Nasser and I are good friends, and I know he's a very tough negotiator. So only if something happens with Dusan, then we will start talking to PSG.
Direttore, le chiedo se dopo Modesto ha individuato anche il direttore sportivo, quando arriverà e se farà mercato in questa sessione o continuerà lei a fare prima persona il mercato?
Well, considering the fact you sleep in this hotel, you will see him. You will see him first. Yeah, look, we have. I discussed this recently with the owner. I have a list in my head. I haven't approached anyone yet because everyone is incredibly busy with the transfer window. You know, and by respect to clubs and individuals, we will do it in the right time. Sometime between September and I will say early September and the end of October will be the right time. Francois was a key appointment because, you know, with all humility, I've done the job of sporting director a few years and in good clubs as well. So the agreement I had with the owner before coming in is I will be covering the kind of two position, general director and sporting director for this summer. But the key was to appoint a technical director that can manage the team, the big team, I mean, you know, on the day-to-day. And that's why we prioritize that appointment of a sporting director. But in due course, we will let you know, of course. And you will know probably better before the others.
L'anno scorso la Juventus è arrivata quarta all'ultima giornata, lei appunto è arrivato dopo. Il mercato che sta facendo, di cui ci ha parlato, quale obiettivo si è dato? Un obiettivo minimo? Dove arriva questa Juventus?
Well, first of all, we are very, very happy with where we are in the transfer window, in the mercato so far. The signings we made is exactly the signings we wanted to make. I know for our fans and our community and maybe for the media as well, it looks like, okay, Francisco is not new, but he's new. You know, we spend a lot of money to get him. We know exactly the value he can bring. I'm not talking financial, I'm just talking value he can bring on the pitch. We think we've got two of the best young wingers in the world, with Kenan on one side and Francisco on the other side. João Mario as well, a key signing, because we know how he can complement with Francisco on the right, and he fits perfectly to the playing style that the coach wants to implement. So all this is great what we've done so far. Jonathan, securing the services of Jonathan as a free transfer, it kind of gives us some comfort as well as, you know, to see what happens with the striker position. If we didn't have Jonathan today and we know Dusan, you know, I've explained the situation, then I think we will be a bit anxious, but we're not. We are disciplined. We are going to keep our discipline. We know what we want to do. We know what we want to achieve. We also know that unless someone leaves, you know, no one will come. But if someone leaves, then we are ready to act very quickly. So that's to summarize where we are in terms of the transfer window. And then as far as the objectives are concerned, we want to do as well as we can. We are trying to build a team and make sure the team perform at 100% of its potential. that potential, will it be to finish first or second or third? I don't know yet. We'll have probably a better understanding after a few games. But, you know, as I said when I arrived, when you are at Juventus, you want to win. The question is when we are going to win, but we are not shy of saying we want to win, and we'll do everything in our power to bring, you know, winning back to Juventus. I can't control the timing, but I think we can control the performance, and when we will get there. For sure, we will get there.
Come va con l'italiano? Vuole dirci una frase in italiano? So che sta studiando molto.
Well, no, I don't want to say a sentence, sorry. I understand everything, obviously, because you ask all the questions in Italian, and I think I understand them. I take 3 lessons a day. Oh, sorry, I wish. A week. So it's coming. I just need a trigger and someone, you know. It will come. It will come. But trust me, I'm trying really hard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Thank you very much.